This is not news to you. You have our wish list. And you need to have people check through these things. But even if, I don't believe a point-for-point thing is what this is about. I think this is about Israel could be doing better here in a way that would make it very clear to the world that what you say is true, which is we are not here to destroy innocents. We're here to destroy Hamas. Not giving them the essential aid seems to be the opposite of that message.
Well, Israel has one mission when it comes to checking these trucks. This is what we do. We inspect the trucks to see that there's no ammunition, something that could jeopardize Israel's security, funneling into Gaza through the humanitarian aid. You know, this Hamas has been stealing some of these aid trucks. You've seen these videos as well. Now, this is Israel's job, to inspect these trucks. And we said from the very beginning of this war that we didn't start and we didn't want, that we placed no limitations on the amount of food, water, medical supplies. Now, I have to really pass on this list specifically. I saw that insulin pens, for example, were on that list. And I know that this is not correct because they could not be dually used for terror purposes and so forth. But I will get back to you, and I'll ask the government coordinator.
As the concept, because, again, I don't believe that the point is to say, oh, OK, so these three are yes, this one, no. It's not that about. It's the feel. The feel is that Israel is enabling the suffering in Gaza. And yes, there are security concerns, of course, but that you can have both, that you can be safe and that these people can have water and not be dying in their own filth.
Wars are awful, Chris. Again, it's a war. We didn't want this war. Hamas are the only ones that wanted this war. And we say, if you don't want a war with Israel, don't go to war with Israel. Israel is doing everything humanly possible to minimize the civilian suffering in Gaza and civilian casualties in Gaza. It's not something that we want to see. Hamas is doing exactly the opposite. They want to maximize the civilian suffering and civilian casualties so that Israel will take the fire for their sick death cult actions and war methods. Our job is to inspect these trucks. I can tell you that this week the truck number 10,000 crossed into Gaza. 99% of the trucks that are being examined at our borders have crossed into Gaza, and we have excess capacity, in fact, to check more trucks than are actually coming in. We've been saying it for so many. The backlog is not on our end. We have the ability to check more trucks than the ones that are coming in. It's about the distribution. That is, well, we're not distributing the, Well,
they say that they can't distribute because there's deconfliction is a fancy way of saying safe areas where you can do your aid work, that there aren't enough, that the Israeli bombing is random. Well, you're not saying that Israel can't do better when it comes to delivery of aid in the region.
I mean, what's the benchmark? Are you judging Israel to perfection? Everyone could be better. I could be a better person. You could be a better person.
Well, that's a low bar for me. Okay. What I'm saying is I think the biggest political issue that could be dealt with is what they have access to and what that means for them. So you come back to me on the list. We'll do it that way.
We'll do that.
One other quick thing. To your knowledge and what you've been briefed on, is there a chance that Israel will ever promise to never fire again in Hamas territory without getting their people back first?
Well, the plight of the hostages is the top of minds at every decision-making process. Right now, there are, we believe, at least 100 hostages who are still alive for 110, 11 days now. They have been going through, they and their families, the torture of mind, body, and soul. We want to have all of them back, released.
Before you'll make a promise of what your behavior is going forward.
Well, you see, we are pursuing every possible avenue. We know that the best way to go forward, as we did back in November, that we saw the release of some of the hostages, was to exert military pressure on Hamas. We're hitting them hard to create the conditions to reach potentially another framework by which we will see the release of more hostages.
I'm getting chased on time.
Okay.
Tal, thank you very much. The conversation continues. And you know you have a fair channel here. You come, you let me know what the answer is.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Your producers.
All right.